All right, so I want to walk through some of the design concepts we came up with for the abduction course. Now, it's still in progress, but pretty much have a lot of this ironed out. Now, the first thing we always do is, what I always do is just start with the design map, and that is just get in there and based on the topic that we're working on, really start listing quickly, either on paper or in a software mind map, really what those elements are. So we always begin with the elements. What are the elements of an abduction course? This is was a stand-up course, so they had a lot of existing material, and they had these live scenarios. So it was about how do we get in there, and how do we try to transfer an ILT-based course into e-learning. And so we're trying to recreate a lot of the imagery that these NGO workers actually face when they are working, and that is terrorism or kidnappings or abductions. And some of those elements that would be, kind of just high level: newspapers, telephones, eavesdropping equipment, digital transfers of wire money, ransom notes. Then we start going through things like fonts, and it's not about so much the naming or knowing what a font name is, as much as it is just come in here, really describing the fonts. Typewriter or grungy fonts, hand drawn, distressed, text messages. I didn't have text messages here. I had it over here for the notes, but actually searched for digital fonts that looked like cell phone text message. A lot of elements here: people who do the abducting, right? Hooded military, police outfits. Just keep going through all these different folks: people who investigate, people who maybe report on it, experts, commentaries, and then so on. And then in this example, we actually did a lot around scenes and locations. What would the places look like? And movies and pop culture is obviously quite a few of those, related industries, and textures. Actually added a texture layer here just to help with some of the design elements. And then finally the colors. Now, once all this was in place, I actually started to really just go and look for those images. Okay, and so here's what really sort of the completed mind map looks like, right? So if I zoom in, you can see all the nodes expanded. And really, after we find this, right, it's just about going and getting those images. So elements, a lot of different elements for this type of topic. Really was concerned with not playing it up too much, but obviously this is a real course, ILT course. It's a real threat. And so we wanted to try to capture some of that emotion of what the workers would go through when, the first 24 hours of someone being abducted. Fonts, again, here we are with describing them, and then some of the fonts that come up, you can see a lot of different types in this this area, this topic. So a lot of choices, and a lot of it was based on just not trying to find one that worked across the course, but still had a lot of emotion in it. So people, a lot of different types of people, tried to capture a lot of different styles: the sketchy, the blurred, kind of like the silhouette. Because this really wasn't about a specific person or role. So I liked some of the blurred out images or the silhouette images, the shadow images. So we didn't really focus too much on the faces as much as we did just a lot of the characters to imply both the abductors and then obviously the abducted. Movies, certainly no shortage of this type of movie. A lot of them recently, TV shows, CSI, Alias. But The Rescuer's in there. It's kind of a good movie. And then some alien abduction references as well, just for colors and reference on how some of those were portrayed. And then finally the colors. Or the textures. I actually added a layer of textures here. Just took a big swatch out of one of the photo sites. You can see there's quite a few different textures here, and then played off of those for some of the colors. So let me take a look at a couple of the design comps. So this was obviously one of the current version. One of the things that we were given was this sort of storyboard from the client. They had just 9 scenarios. I think there's 9, maybe there's 10 now. 10 then, but 9 now. But so this was the kind of the rough layout that they were going for. And so trying to work from some of that, came up with a few different iterations of it, played with different types of ways to present the scenarios. And there's one with a blurred background, really going for that blurred effect. And I think we came up here where we started to focus on some people just for even, increased emotion. And then finally something resembling this. So just a quick walkthrough. The design map really helps, but just if you have any questions, let us know and be happy to walk through any of this closer.